Hi, I'm Richard from Drive Green, and today we're going to be spending a bit of time with the Tesla Model S. I've always thought of the Model S as being the king of cars, and today I'd like to share some of my experience with it and help you decide whether it might be the right electric car for you. The Model S was one of the very first mass-produced lithium-powered EVs, and it went on to become one of the best-selling EVs globally for several years. Quite an achievement for a car with such a high price tag. The Model S really put electric cars on the map by showcasing what they're capable of in terms of driving range as well as performance. The Model S still sits on the premium electric car throne, although it has now been eclipsed in sales by its little brother, the Model 3. The Model 3 is definitely an amazing car and has earned its place as the best-selling EV globally, but the Model S still very much has its place. It's a big, sleek luxury saloon, and it's a stunning looking car, particularly one with a facelift like this one here. You know you're looking at something special before you even see the very desirable Tesla badge here on the front. It really has some nice lines with its clean front end, unencumbered by any large grills. Combined with purposeful headlights and these lovely flared rear haunches, it all adds up to a lovely looking machine. Hard to fool. It's a special car and it looks it. It has an imposing presence, especially with the bigger 21-inch wheels, which really hints to the powerful and sporty credentials that lie behind this elegant exterior. I think it really is a great looking car. The Model S is definitely a big car. It's long and it's wide, but that does mean it has a lovely limousine-like spacious interior, as well as a massive boot and a decent-sized frunk. Other than the occasional difficulty this presents on a narrow country lane or parking in a tight city car park, this great size makes the S a really practical, family-suitable car. Coupled with its amazing high range, the Model S is a car that can comfortably do that family holiday, which, to be fair, isn't something you can say about a lot of EVs, including the Model 3. The Model S has such strong competition from its little brother, the Model 3, which is such an impressive car. It's fast, it has a good range, great tech, and this wonderful same Tesla interface. It's so good, in fact, you might question why you would go for a Model S when the 3 is so good. The reason I think is style. The Model S is very much like the boss's car. It's big, it's sleek, it's very impressive, it's very expensive looking, whereas the Model 3 has got a more everyman appeal. The Model S holds a certain exclusivity that I'm afraid the Model 3 is now lacking as a result of its popularity and massive sales, and the fact it's now so commonly seen on our roads. I often think cars are a lot like clothes. There's never one size fits all. People are always looking for a car to suit their personality or elements of it. And certainly I think that the Model S will certainly suit a lot of people's personalities perfectly. You know, getting into the Model S is a bit like putting on a very sharp tailored suit for someone who likes putting on sharp tailored suits. One place where the Teslas have always led the EV marketplace is in the driving range of their cars. The driving range is related to the battery size that the car carries. The newer models, they all have 100 kilowatt-hour batteries, but once you're looking at the earlier models, you've got 60s, you've got 70s, you've got 75s, 85s, 90s and 100s, and these are all denoted on the badge on the car. A 60 will do perhaps 170 to 200 miles, and when you're looking at a 75, you're looking perhaps 220 to 250, all the way up to the 90s and the 100s, which are going to do around about sort of 300 miles worth of driving range potentially. Also, the more recent the car, the better the range, as Tesla are regularly updating their software, improving their motors and their battery chemistry, with the latest 100 kilowatt-hour battery models providing a massive 350 miles of range. With the Tesla's ranges, I would only ever give sort of rough estimates really. What you've got to remember is this is a very big, heavy car and it's incredibly powerful. And if you like driving in a sporty, aggressive style, you'll certainly see your range disappear a lot quicker. In terms of what battery size you need when you're looking in the used market, it's important to have a look at your regular driving and more importantly those regular long journeys and how long they actually are. You might find when you analyse your driving patterns that actually 200 to 250 miles is more than adequate, especially with a bit of public charging, and therefore you won't necessarily need to look at the more expensive bigger battery options. You can look at the slightly less expensive smaller battery options. Obviously this refers to cars in the used market. Obviously with the newer ones
they all come with a whopping 100 kilowatt hour battery.
Earlier cars are available as single or dual motor options. The dual motor models have a D on the badge and offer quicker off-the-line acceleration and better road holding.
That being said, I do know owners that actually prefer the single motor rear-wheel drive configuration and the slightly edgier drive that gives.
Whatever Model S you go for, even if it's a 75 for example, it will have a very respectable and hard-to-beat range, even against most new EVs. Where the Teslas are still leaps and bounds ahead of the competition is their charging network. Superchargers are readily available all across the UK and Europe, and you're never far away from a quick and reliable charge.
As a result, if you're doing lots of long-range driving, the Teslas remain the best game in town because of that supercharging network. Not only is it spread everywhere, you can charge super fast. So even on an earlier Tesla and on an earlier charge point, you're looking at delivering about 100 miles worth of range back into your car in under 30 minutes of charging time. And on a newer Tesla and on a newer supercharger, that can be considerably less as well. The interior to the Model S is definitely different to most other cars. It's very minimal in design, but the materials are nice. It's nice and sleek, you know, it's still a very classy sort of premium feel car. The interior is also very much dominated by the big touchscreen you've got in the centre here. Now the touchscreen does the bulk of the controls for the car, and whilst this breaks with convention a little bit, personally I think it's the easiest of any infotainment system out there to use.
The Model S has a decent level of equipment as standard, with plenty of nice premium features like heated seats, cruise control, auto-dipping headlights, and all the great stuff in that wonderful touchscreen system. There's also a variety of aesthetic customization options such as different headliners on the interior, different dash materials, you can have different seats and different alloys.
Particularly when you're looking at a used Model S, there are a number of different spec items that can be added to your car. You've got this lovely pan roof and sunroof, although on the newer cars you get a pan roof as standard. You've got a winter pack which includes heated rear seats and heated steering wheel. You've got a premium pack which includes a mechanical auto-opening boot. You've got a smart air suspension system which will learn on your regular routes where there are potholes and speed bumps and will adjust accordingly. And you can have an upgraded sound system. And of course there's the Tesla autopilot system. Now Tesla really have led the way with autonomous cars, and their autopilot system is simply fantastic, way better than anything else on any other car I've driven. On the motorway it's superb, but even on an A road like this the car will comfortably drive itself. And I'll just quickly pop it into autopilot now, and here we are on an A road and the car is quite happy fully driving itself. Whether you're happy with a car driving for you or not, you've certainly got to be in awe of this technology, and it's another thing that makes the Tesla brand so desirable. Drive-wise, you really can't fault the Model S. It's sublimely good. You know, it's so smooth and effortless, and at the same time it's so powerful. This is a really, really quick, powerful car. It also handles and corners brilliantly, especially when you consider how heavy and how big this car is. You know, it really is a fantastic car to drive. Especially when you start looking into the performance models or the Plaid models on the newer versions, they are insanely quick, incredibly hard to describe because you are fundamentally driving perhaps the fastest car in the world. It's absolutely crazy, and until you've had a go, I don't think you can fully appreciate how fast it is. And whilst that in itself is amazing, you know, that this lowly electric car, even at its fairly high price tag, can compete with sort of £1 million hypercars in performance. What I find even more impressive is not only can the Model S be quite comfortably pretty much the fastest car on the road, it's also perfectly comfy, trundling along very smoothly at sort of 15 miles an hour behind a bicycle. I think the fact it can do both extremes so effortlessly is incredible. The Model S is a luxury saloon, but with the performance of a supercar.
The Model S is a brilliant car and one of my favourites. It brings cutting-edge technology, startling performance and practicality together in one very stylish and desirable package.
Perhaps the only negative with the Model S is its price. You know, it's a premium luxury car with a premium luxury price tag. However, it more than justifies it in value terms when you start thinking of its performance and how much a combustion engine vehicle would be to carry this level of performance, seeing as it compares to £1 million supercars quite comfortably. But also, if you're open to looking into the used market, you can now pick up a used Model S, a good quality car at a very approachable price. The Model S really is a great car, totally worthy of the description, the king of cars. If you're a lover of the tech and the performance, but you want a car that's practical as well as makes a statement, then the Model S is probably the perfect car for you. I hope this video has been useful in helping you get more of a feel for the Tesla Model S. If you'd like to find out more or to arrange a test drive, please do get in touch. Thank you ever so much for watching, and please be sure to check out our other videos.